I'm so sorry for the short break in transmission. The video started right away, but I think there was something wrong with the quality of the camera. So I just needed to start the stream again, and I have to just get another link. That was why I could not continue with the previous feed. I'm very sorry. Actually, I was just wondering, even as it is too, I'm still not getting the best of the quality of this, but I think we can still make do with this, with what we have. Yeah, please, if you're online and you get to see this notification, I want you to please give this video a like and just go ahead and share with your friends. Today is day 24, and luckily it's a Friday. Thank God it's Friday to many of us, TGIF, and it's the beginning of another weekend, and everybody is excited to see what have you to start the weekend. To some of us that are here, it's just about 4:30, and everybody will be excited to go and enjoy the weekend. And whatever it is with you, whether you are still at work or you are not having any weekend for now, I just want to welcome you to this day 24, and let's do it together. I actually don't want to see myself as somebody that is up high there, but I believe in collaboration, and the subject of discussion today is self-sufficiency. And how do I mean I believe in collaboration? I believe that one man cannot have all the answers to everything we are going through, or to all the problems, or what have you. But no matter what the case is, regardless of any situation or circumstance we are find ourselves, there is always a way out if we don't choose to leave everything to the doorstep of what is happening around us. Today, as it were, when you look at everything that COVID-19, COVID 2021, and whatever name their people are calling it now, is come and brought on us as a people, we have been able to see a situation where everybody needs to now begin to look inward and see how you can make a better meaning out of your present life. When you look at what COVID did, it's like it got us to a point and to a place in our life that we are unable to look ahead and see that there's any hope. For all the period that we had the lockdown, everybody was just at the beck of hope. How we just wish something can just happen, how we can just have our world back to how it used to be, how we can always. And another lesson that taught every one of us is how you and I need to be more and more self-reliant or self-sufficient with regards to how we manage and live and lead our life. And when you look at the subject and this topic of self-sufficiency, it is, by way of definition, is having our own ability, having control, or being in charge of being able to provide your basic need of your family, of your member, of anybody that you either to cater to. You being able to, maybe your medical need, your physical need, your financial need, your health need, and every other those things. And how beautiful this topic is, and why I decided to talk about it, is because I have looked at a trend that we have a saying, and it is something like in the big book of God, that people talk about our sufficiency being God. That in everything we do, everything we can think of with regards to our provision, with regards to anything we lack, has to come from the Almighty, the divine maker of the whole world. And it is actually true. Why did I say so? It's actually true. One, sit down and just imagine the air that is going in through your nostril. Let's start from there. Somebody made it available. Somebody put that breath inside our nostril. Somebody is responsible for how each of the every organ, system, part, system, tissue, blood, what have you, that is within our body is functioning right away. Somebody is in charge of how the system is working. And so when you look at that alone, it is very true and it is very basic that our sufficiency is of God, truly. But now let's bring it home. If our sufficiency is of God, I want you to look at this scenario now. That now that we are here on earth, now that everything we do is no longer on the is no longer dependent on him, because he already make sure he gave us the basics of our survival. He gave us the air, the water, he gave us the earth where to dwell in. He make sure that everything with regards to our being comfortable, with regards to everything that the atmosphere that the universe needs, is right within our reach. It's like he put everything about our sufficiency in a puzzle like form within the environment, within the universe. And all that you and I got to do is just to look for how we can do what? How we can put the puzzles together, arrange the puzzles together, and we are right there getting the right results we need. And but now, when you now look at every of our lives and everything happening around us, and we still find it challenging to be self-sufficient, that is where I have decided to come, and let's rub minds together. What is it, and why do we need to be self-sufficient? And what does it take for you and I to be self-sufficient in our time and in the days that we live in? And permit me to say that if you see anybody that has something going on well with him or the other, and it's like everything he or she has to do with regards to his need is just being met, I don't mean to look down on the person and say, oh, we don't know what the person is doing. Maybe he's just patching it up. I want you to know that it's actually a possibility. That how can we be, is it possible? How can we be self-sufficient? It is a possibility, because when we realize that we have everything we need to take control and to be in charge of our lives, starting with the fact that we have the life, starting with the fact that if you and I are healthy and we are strong, and there's nothing challenging our strength, our health, then we don't have anything that should stop you and I from going all the way. And that whenever you see in any area of your life that you are not sufficient, and that you are not having what it takes for you to be able to get yourself to a place where you are having comfortably and confidently taking care of your needs, of your wants, and everything you have needs of, to be able to live at least a comfortable life, then you need to now start to begin to look at yourself inwardly. Because when we look at what it stands for, it is when you are able to count yourself, you are able to trust in your ability, you are able to accept your responsibility to make sure that your life counts and is what it's supposed to be. And that is how it starts. It starts by accepting responsibility. That for you to be self-sufficient, the first thing you must do to yourself is you must accept responsibility. And that you must never at any point or the other in your life see anybody being responsible for wherever you are now at the moment. If there's anything you must do yourself, you must accept the full responsibility for your change in life. You must look at America, or any developed country that we and I will always look forward to, want to go to. America was great because America accepts the fact that they are able to become self-sufficient. They look inward at all what they have as their internal resources, and they made up their mind to accept the responsibility to make America great. So America became great because America developed itself. Look at my country, Nigeria. Wherever and whatever stage we are, and all the progress and every stagnation we have witnessed today, is because we have not accepted the responsibility to believe that you and I, can change the course of that country called Nigeria. We are still looking at somebody out there. You and I are still blaming somebody for the reason for why we are where we are. And if there's anything true about this definition of insanity, which is doing the same thing, the same way, the same method, the same place, and expecting change, That is the definition of insanity. That if for 50 years from now we have still find ourselves in the same spot, and there has hardly been any change that we could lay hand onto and make it look real, that actually something is progressing, then that tells you and I that we have not been able to sit down and look at what is responsible for why we are here. Why is it that things are not working? Why are things working there in America? Why are not things working? And the same thing with our lives. When we sit down and we start to blame others, we start to point fingers to why we are where we are, because our politicians refuse to do the road, because our parents refuse to do this, because our family, we are not well, because we are not born from a wealthy family, because our parents are poor, because we didn't get to go to university. Every time we see ourselves blaming others, looking externally to the reason why we are not self-sufficient, our lives is not going to be better off than where it is now in 5 years to come. So the first thing we need to do to be able to be self-sufficient is, first and foremost, we must accept the responsibility that if our lives we are ever going to be self-sufficient, we're ever going to be in a state where we are sufficiently able to cater for our family, to cater for our need, to meet our financial goal, to meet our career goal, to meet our weekly, monthly desperation, desire, we are not going to wait for somebody. That if it is going to be, it is up to me. That if it is ever going to be, I must begin to position myself and prepare myself for the future, and begin to think ahead. That if truly I want to see a change in my life, I must not just hope that somehow that change will just happen, as we always think. Oh, I just believe that one day, one how, somehow, things will just change for good. I believe this is what I have always confessed before now. I always, one way, somehow, someday, things will change for good. And that is what we have been doing in our country, Nigeria. We just leave everything to the future, to chances that it will just happen. But I tell you, friends, there has never been any life, any country that we have seen, that have witnessed development, that have developed by believing that somehow the things will change. It is only when I change. It is only when you change. It is only when we change. That is when we will witness change in our life, in our homes, in our finances, and in our country. That is the truth you must tell yourself, and you must accept that for my life to change, for my country to change, for my family, for my finances, for any situation around me now that is not making me self-sufficient, for it to change, I must change. For Nigeria to change, we must accept the necessity and the reason, because that is only thing that will bring the total environment. And we always thinking that the external forces that surrounds us is what is going to bring about the change we need. It's never going to happen. If change is going to happen, it must happen right here. You must stop the blame game. You must count yourself and trust yourself worthy enough to be able to provide and bring about the needed change you need. And how are you going to attain self-sufficiency? It is when you start doing all you can, everything within you, every power you have, to make sure that you go out all the way to pay the price that you need to become self-sufficient. And it starts by you learning from your present circumstances. Look at your life. What are the things that are not working? Look at this month of September. Just imagine your present day-to-day activity. What are those things that you feel is not working? Thank you, Baseball. Thank you very much for joining. I appreciate you. Look at what are those things that are not working at the moment in your life. Check your weekly goals. Check your monthly goals. What are those things that you are not getting the result out of? Look at your paycheck. Track your progress. Don't just say, oh no, it's they are not fair in my company. Oh, those guys, they are just screwing things up. They are just making life difficult. No. Tell yourself the truth. Why is your boss paying you that price, that amount you are getting home? Why is your boss being the one that is getting more paid, more than you are? It is just simple. Something is happening that you are not paying attention to. The reason why he or she is more paid than you are is because he or she has learned something you have not learned. That it is only when you go ahead and learn and develop yourself, add more skills, take a process of you refining and adding value to yourself. It is a question of time. When you add value to yourself, you attract more worth. People look for you. You attract more value. You get more pay. The reason why that person is your boss today and why you are not the one sitting as a boss is because the person have taken time to add value to himself. So that is the reason you have to begin to track your progress. If you are not where you're supposed to be and you don't like what you are taking home, it's our time to begin to ask yourself, what are those things that is getting you distracted from the real thing, from the real change you want to see in your life? What are those things that are distracting you most? What is your greatest distraction in life? Just look at your day. Every day you start, once the day starts, what are those things that take away, that take from you, that doesn't add from you? What activities are you doing, are you engaging in, that is not making you profitable? Look at your paycheck. Are you happy? When you see some of those things that you are doing that actually are not adding to value, to you becoming more valuable, then it is time for you to now begin to look inward and ask yourself, what are those things you need to replace? You need to replace those things that are distracting you away from your value. When you look at your life, what are those areas of your life that you find more interesting, that you just love to be in that state, but you don't see yourself getting in those places? It's just like a state of flow is a state of between you getting to where you want to and you to where you don't like to be. So when you are able to tilt away from where you don't want to, or activity you don't like seeing yourself in, and you're able to balance it with where you want to be, your ability to do it is what is called a state of flow. And every day, you and I need to check our day to day, our weekly, tracking your life and seeing what are those things you do that really, really gets you out of life, that gets you in the state that you just feel alive. You just enjoy being in that moment. These are some of the things you need to pay attention to. When you pay attention to some of those things, you are able to track what are those things you need to be doing more often. When you're able to put a kind of balance in doing more of those things, you will begin to see how you can become more reliant and more self-sufficient. Because it is you in doing those things, you are adding and you are attracting more value to yourself. So first and foremost, I want to encourage you, practice self-encouragement. Encourage yourself in getting to do some of those things that I've just described, because it will help you to come in a place where you begin to see that you are learning to perfect more of those things. And then look at your life too. What are those mistakes? What are those things you have been doing that you know they are mistakes? You can learn from them. And don't always blame your mistake and don't dwell on it. Like this morning now, if you look at what I've started doing since all this, I look at why are people not coming on live when I'm about to start? Oh, despite all the notification and despite some of the posting, I discovered that I have not been able to utilize my email list, all of my friends and some of the people that have reached out to me in the past when I've had program. I have not taken time to go ahead and invite them, to send invitation and reminders to them. So do you know how the world is so distracted? So many people have so many things they are doing at the moment that is taking away their attention, that they would have loved to be here, but I did not do enough to reach out. Do you see that? I am learning on my mistakes. So when next I'm going out, like, I have to go ahead and make effort to send out notification and to send reminders to them so they are able to join me. So can you see that rather than me blaming myself and just dwelling on the fact that, oh, not many people come on to my live events, not many people engage on my events, on my program, I'll now begin to see how I can learn from that mistake and make a better choice, make a better decision out of it, And I tell you, friends, when you start learning from your mistakes in life, and you start correcting them, you start taking action, you are going to see your life begin to attract progress. It is as simple as that. You will begin to see progress. And when you begin to dwell on those little progress you're attracting, it will not take you a long, far distance when this thing will become a habit. And when this thing becomes habit, it becomes your lifestyle. And when this become your lifestyle, people can see that this person is just focused. This person is deaf spirit. This person has come to a place where he has known what he or she wants to be doing and is not getting any distraction away from it. And when people can see the power of focus, people want to come towards you. They notice that there's something about you. And that is how life begins. And that is how you begin to take in charge. You are getting in charge and laying control, laying hold of your life. And you're no longer waiting and blaming the government and blaming the politicians and blaming your parents or blaming your circumstance or blaming your environment and your background for why you are where you are. And so I tell you and encourage you to start today to begin the journey of accepting the responsibility to living the life you want to see 5 years from now. Wake up, show up. Don't say, oh, okay, you wake up late, you didn't wake up early. It's okay. Tomorrow is another day. Practice, set your alarm early, go to bed early, show up in those things you love doing. Don't wait till somebody will encourage you and give you motivation before you show up. That doesn't show somebody that is disciplined. That does not show someone that wants to get to the top of his game in being self-reliant and being able to be self-sufficient. In your life, everything you need is within the nature. Everything you need has been put here like a puzzle by God, by universe. All you need to do is when you show up day to day, you begin to see the the what? You begin to see the puzzle connecting on each other. That is the thing. That is it. So it's high time we stop the blame game. It's high time we accept the responsibility to bring about the needed change you and I have been waiting for. I want you to trust yourself, trust your instinct, believe in the fact that you know how to figure things out, that you can, and of a truth, you can and you will. Start researching. Start looking out for people that are finding things easy around them, people that are self-sufficient, people that are making progress in their finances, in their career, in their job, in their work, in anything they have set to do. Go and start to learn the patterns. Go and begin to search and see what they are doing that is making a whole lot of change in their lives. This is it, friends. This is how it happens. This is how it begins. And you can start today. You can start to dwell on believing on the fact that you can figure things out and you can begin to track your progress. You can begin to journal and you can begin to write everything that you see. Oh, this thing worked out. I did this thing and it worked out. Oh, I did this thing and I was able to enjoy my day. Oh, I did this thing and I find out that my children were able to calm. I was able to have a. When you begin to track those things, you journal them, you put them down, you are able to begin to know how you can begin to aggregate more of those things in your day-to-day work, your day-to-day activities. And when you surround yourself with more of those things, you are going to see a better you and a better fulfillment in how you live and spend your days. Friend, this is all that I have to share. I hope you found one or two things you can lay hold on as a matter of you going to start to implement. Because I tell you, it is not all in all the knowledge that you can acquire. It is not only in all the knowledge that we can acquire that is important, but in all the little minute action we put ourselves out to begin to do that will make the difference. And I encourage you to take at least one thing you're going to start implementing from today that will begin to make that shift and that change you need. So it is not as if money is even the problem. A lot of us don't realize that when we pursue going to add value to our lives, money is going to be the least thing you struggle to get. Because in you going to add value to yourself, it is no brainer. People will pay, people will work, they will travel, they will go all the way to look for you when you are finished adding value to yourself, when they can identify a value you can give to them, they will beat their path to your doorsteps. And that is why for now, I don't want you to look down on yourself or look at others' progress and begin to compare other people's future, other people's middle with your own beginning. I want you to know and learn the process of focus and persevering, patience. To knowing that when you pay the price and you pay for the time, that time is in self greater than money. That's the secret. Time has more value than money. If you spend more time with yourself to develop yourself, that time you have paid, you spent, you invest to add value to yourself is going to result in value with regards to money. That is the secret, friends. I don't want you to despise your days of little beginning. A lot of people out there will say, "Oh, I'm not doing that thing again. I only have few people coming online. I've been doing it all this day. I did not even see any reason why I should continue." I want to encourage you. Everything that you are going to be in life, there will always be a beginning. And it is only if you don't despise those days of little beginnings, days of 10 likes, days of only five people, 5 likes, days of only few engagements, when you develop mastery and you go all in doing those things and waiting patiently for the universe to bring you to the spotlight, then you are unstoppable. Then nothing can stop your success. Then begin to concentrate more and more of your effort on those things, because you know it is just as certain as the law of universes. As long as there is seed time, there is bound to be harvest. And as long as these two laws remains, this law that governs the universe is, you are persuaded and you are assured that it's a question of time. Your payday is around the corner. Friends, if there's anything I am doing that is positioning me for that change that I am getting and witnessing day to day in my work and in my course and in this part of my business, on this entrepreneurship journey, it is the fact that endure the pain, endure the discipline, so that you can avoid the, the discipline of life. Because when you go through the pain now, when 5 years from now, some other people are going to be agonizing and wishing they have taken the step, you will not be there. So endure today your two ounce of discipline, so that life will not discipline you with 2 tons. And I said it yesterday, that if you see somebody 70 years old going to work or going to be doing all the hard labor at 70, then you should know, if you don't want that to be your experience, pay the price now. Start showing up for what you love. Start showing up. Start getting more and more of yourself immersed in more of those things you want to see your future you become. And the only missing link is action. Take a step. Wake up. Show up. And life will reward you for every of your favor, for every of your time, for everything you have shown up. Because seed time, harvest will never cease. That is the truth. Friends, this is where I'm going to be stopping. I want to appreciate every one of you that get to join me online. Thank you very much, my mom, Mrs. Bisola and Naomi. Thank you very much, Obina. Thank you, Mr. Obina Domi. I'm so grateful for your time. Thank you very much for joining. And for everyone that gets to watch the replay of this live broadcast, I appreciate your time too. And I encourage you to please give this video a like and share it also. So many people out there that are going through a lot of difficulty, and so many people that believe that there's something about their life that it is just not going to change, that is it, they have accepted fate. And I tell you, if your life is now the way you are looking at it, the only reason why it is not going to change is because you refuse to do anything about it. Once, any day, any moment, anytime you decide to make yourself available, to open your life yourself up to change, you are going to change. It is not a question of time. It's not a question of age. It's not a question of, and I don't want you to believe that I'm too old or I'm too young. I was thinking, I'm already over 40, something, and I've been, oh, it is not possible. Let me not deceive myself. Let me just accept fate. No. If I have accepted fate, I believe nothing can change. I will not be here before you, being the one that is talking with you. So don't give up on yourself. Don't write yourself up. Believe change is possible, and go ahead and begin to embrace the change that you need to do through action to see the life you want to see. Tomorrow is day 25. If you have ever got to watch any of this, or if you have missed any point of any of these live broadcasts, there is a replay session in my official YouTube channel, Ludeta Think Media. You can always watch every of the days that we have seen. And I said the emphasis for this month of September is on self. You taking time to prioritize yourself. You have been giving love to others. It is high time you beep that light lens of love on yourself by taking time to love on yourself, to commit to yourself being better, to commit to adding more to your life so that you can be more and more beautiful and more attractive. So that by the time we are ending this year, you are sure, you are so confident of the fact that your 2022 is just within your reach because you are taking time to love on yourself. So I encourage you to check on the replays and learn on every of those topics that you so find resonating on you most. Thank you very much. Tomorrow we are going to be talking about self-alignment. That is tomorrow's topic, and I look forward to seeing you join me in live. It's already 30 minutes, and I've always made effort to make sure I don't exceed the 30 minutes strike of the broadcast. So I appreciate you for coming on board. Thank you very much. This is where I'm ending the broadcast. I hope to see you join me live tomorrow, same time, 4 p.m. Eastern time and 9 p.m. West African time. Thank you very much. From here, it is bye. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and stay away from trouble. Bye.